We're here. We're here. We're here. How are you guys? Great to see you again. And we
weren't going to be here, but we're here.
we weren't going to be here, but we're here. We're here for all the people out there that love to see videos at terrible times. So it's a day before Christmas, and here we are streaming with you guys. Hope you guys have been all right. Personal account, what is good? Hope you've been good. I hope you got a lot planned for Christmas. We've got Chrissy tomorrow and then Boxing Day. Boxing Day, I think I'm going to do some shopping, bro. Do you take advantage of Boxing Day?
No. Just going to grab a feed and I'll be happy. Just some food. Good food.
I just want to say one thing before we start. Welcome back to the end of the world. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the stream out, and let us know your thoughts down below. We're going to touch on a few things today. We're going to react to both the opposition leader of Australia and the Labor leader put out Christmas videos. We're going to take a look at that.
Yeah, we're reacting to things that I've just dug up over the last couple of hours because not much has happened since yesterday, and it's really hard at this time of the year because not really many things are happening. It's a slow news week.
Time for you guys to show us more lizard people. Do you know what was funny?
That was so funny.
Yeah, on the last stream when I was about to ask you, is Mark Zuckerberg a lizard? Do you think so? I didn't even finish the sentence, and you go, "Yep, yep."
That was so funny. And then we bring up the Grinch with Michelle Rowland.
We also talked about China and Taiwan. We did. China is soon to take over Taiwan. I predict that will happen by 2030, 2050?
Not sure.
G'day, lads. Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a good one. Hookstagram, Merry Christmas to you too, brother. Hope you're also having a phenomenal Christmas. Christ is God. No longer say Christ is King. Say Christ is God. By 2027, Taiwan could be taken over by 2027 if we're gonna be honest. So let's get into these Christmas videos straight away. We're gonna make it a short stream today, but we just wanted to hop on here and
have a laugh.
Have a laugh. Yeah, chill back, kick back with you guys just before Christmas. If you guys are alone on this day, shoot us a message. Happy to reply. It's a time for being together and having people backing you. And we back you as you guys back us by being here. And soon enough, this show may be taken out by all the wild shit that we say. But we are here with you guys. So let's get stuck into it. Who do we start first? Who do we go through first? Should we go through?
I reckon Albo first.
You reckon Albo first?
He's the Prime Minister. Let's see.
Look at his goofy face, bro. Look at his goofy face. He just annoys me. Every time. That's the face that he's got right now. He's doing one of these.
He made a bad decision with his glasses.
Yeah, you can see the reflection there. Let's rate his fit. What do you rate this shot? First of all, before we even get into the Christmas video, what do you rate this orange tie and this Christmas tree here? What do you reckon about that little light that's shining against the wall, way too bright, behind the Christmas tree there? They just picked one spot, and that was the spot. What do you think about this entire shot?
I had a look at last year's image and video that he did, and I think he made a better choice of tie last year than this year. Last year, he had like a green and like maybe I think it was like a green and blue. A Christmas color theme one. Yeah, this one. Green and red. So it was more festive, this one. This was last year.
Where is that?
Albanese thanks Aussie spending Christmas working in annual address. This was for last year. Yeah.
So this was his last year get up, right? It looks. Is what it is what it is. Let's get to it. Let's hear what this guy has to say, shall we?
I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. For so many Australians, this is a chance to rest, to spend time with our family, catch up with friends, and to cherish the memories of those no longer with us. And for Christians, this is a holy time. In this time of celebration and reflection,
Ooh, what do you think about him saying Christians in there? I thought he was just going to go festive season and all of that. He actually addressed Christians. That's fair play. I say, Albo, that's fair play, mate. That's fair play.
Well, you know this is scripted, yeah.
Well, like, I know this is scripted. That's
Yeah.
why I thought, like, he wouldn't have addressed Christians. I thought he would have been all like, let's keep it festive. This is festive season. Like a bunch of these big businesses do. Oh, happy festive season. Ha, 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 ha. We're having a festive time. Happy holiday.
Nah, his PR team definitely scripted this for him because he's on like a character, recovery mode. He's trying to recover and redeem his public perception,
and
he's got to cater for that.
And the Christian vote is powerful, bro.
Yeah.
And we're making a comeback because Christ is God.
This is a holy time. In this time of celebration and reflection, we express our gratitude to everyone who's giving up their Christmas for the sake of others. In particular, our emergency personnel and Australian Defence Force members, whether here or overseas, our medical workers and our hospitality, and those who give up for others through charities. Of course, this isn't an easy time for everyone. I know many Australians are doing it tough at the moment, in particular those in far north Queensland dealing with the aftermath of the floods. To them I say, you are in our thoughts. May better times be ahead. And may all Australians have a happy and joyous Christmas and a safe one. And please, this festive season, drive safely.
Oh, that was kind of nice, no?
Well, he's gone and thanked the emergency services, and yet you got Victoria and the police are protesting right now, trying to get extra pay.
Talk to him, bro. Talk to him.
You've got ambulance members protesting, saying that they're burnt out because they can't cater for all the people that are, in hospital.
Yes.
And then you've got the fireys that, I don't know, up until the last time I've checked, they still got vaccine mandates, so people can't even volunteer.
Yes.
And we're in the fire season now.
Yes.
So how can you commemorate the work of the emergency services with they're all getting screwed by the government that he runs?
I agree. And the police are having massive issues. So much issues that they have to, hire female officers.
Yeah, and I think in Victoria, the police they dropped the standard for the fitness and education level.
Yeah, I don't understand that. So they did. They dropped the standard for their recruitment for their cadets.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute disgrace. Like minimum, these people hardly train once a month.
They said people that previously failed to join the police force are now open to reapply because the bar has been dropped from the first time that they applied.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Every officer should have every police officer should at minimum be a 2-stripe white belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. 100%. That should be like the absolute bare minimum. At least as a 2-stripe white belt, you know how to subdue a person. You sort of know your equilibrium on top of a person, you know different locks, you know how the mechanics of the body moves from underneath and also top position, so you'll be able to do pins, you know how joint locks work. So minimum a 2-stripe white belt should be the lowest requirement to enter the force, and these people can't even run 800 meters. It's a fucking disgrace.
Have you seen this video? So this was last week. I'll link it to you.
Yeah,
This
link it
was
through.
a Queensland police officer getting overpowered during an arrest. So this is yeah, so that's right there. It is a video of a police officer in Queensland getting overpowered during an arrest in the Gold Coast, and
I saw this.
this is an example of what we're talking about.
Let's pull
Coming to
this
life.
up. Let's pull this up for the stream. So this is a female officer in Queensland trying to do an arrest. So she tries to open up. She's got a taser in front of him too. We don't have sound on this video.
There should be.
He's yelling and screaming. This is when you know no jiu-jitsu. Look at this. She brings him down. She's trying to bring him down with his top arm. He goes to the other side. That is a terrible knee on belly. I will say that is a horrible knee on belly position. At any time she can get rolled over. He moves out. He's on top position here. Easily holding. He should not be able to roll out to your left back hand side.
She lost the control, Brody.
He also has no idea what he's doing. If she gets overpowered.
Peter, please.
He thinks about punching her here. But he's not.
Peter, please.
Play to him. Look, there.
I think he runs away.
Yeah, he just runs away. And she's just sitting there just in panic, in pure panic. She has no clue, absolutely no clue how to subdue.
And people were saying in the comments, why were those people filming and not coming up to help? You never know when or if he or she pulls out that gun, and then you get caught in the crossfire, and all of a sudden there's 2-3 dead people.
100%.
So
The thing
why.
is, it's also they were like elderly, right? As well. Like, there's also a point where they could come and make things worse. At the end of the day, nothing happened there. It could have been much worse. But here, look at this. She has control of the situation if she is a 2-stripe white belt. Here, she is holding him down. She's got top side control. There's nothing he can do. She's already past his guard. She then allows him to go back and sprawl on her. And then she just falls and starts screaming. She literally has no idea what to do. She screams and screams and he runs away. She then just sits up, completely lost control of the situation, completely traumatized, looking to the sky, doesn't even know where she is, fixing her hair. This is like one of those female officers that thought it's these uniforms look kind of cute. I'd love to be a uniform. I think I'd look cute in those uniforms.
I wonder what happened after this. I wonder what the follow-up story was for this.
Does anyone know what the follow-up story is?
But yeah, it's Albo thinking and sharing his gratitude to the emergency services, and yet all of the emergency services in Australia, pretty much across every state, are all either protesting or suffering under extreme circumstances. So it's kind of insincere, if you want to call it that, that he would, pay homage to them, and yet they're all under so much duress at this time.
Let's listen to it again. Just so we get a clear understanding. So I completely agree with you. I think him bringing up the emergency services is complete bullshit because all of the issues that you just laid out. And the one credit that I will give him is that he brought up Christianity, which to me, I did not think that he was going to bring up.
He hasn't got a really good track record, though, to make that actually come off as if that's sincere anyway.
I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. For so many Australians, this is a chance to rest, to spend time with our family, catch up with friends, and to cherish the memories of those no longer with us. And for Christians, this is a holy time. In this time of celebration and reflection, we express our gratitude to everyone who's giving up their Christmas for the sake of others. In particular, our emergency personnel and Australian Defence Force members, whether here or overseas, our medical workers and our hospitality, and those who give up for others through charities. Of course, this isn't an easy time for everyone. I know many Australians are doing it tough at the moment, in particular those in far north Queensland dealing with the aftermath of the floods. To them I say, you are in our thoughts. May better times be ahead. And may all Australians have a happy and joyous Christmas and a safe one. And please, this festive season, drive safely.
Now, let's take a look at the opposition leader. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What do you think he's going to be saying?
I actually haven't watched it yet. Let's have a look. But I can imagine he's probably going to take a pot shot at Albo in some sort of way.
All right, let's take a look here. Do you reckon it's a festive season? First of all,
yeah, these are all political statements, regardless.
First of all, he's got at least he's got subtitles. The Albanese does not have subtitles, but
Australians will be looking forward to this Christmas. 2023 has been a year of hardships at home and adversity abroad. Millions of Australians struggle to make ends meet with mounting financial pressures, exacting a toll on people's savings accounts and their spirits as well. But despite the difficulties, Australians pressed on with characteristic resilience. The generosity and the efforts of our wonderful charity workers and volunteers epitomised the very best of our society. We're thinking of those families who lost loved ones in tragedies this year, such as the victims of the Gold Coast helicopter mid-air collision, the Hunter Valley wedding party bus crash, the Dugald River mine accident, the Taipan helicopter disaster, and the 2 police officers who were killed on duty. This year, we farewelled many great Australians. Among them, we will miss the wit of Barry Humphries, the brightness of John Olsen's canvases, and the mind and the decency of soldier and Senator Jim Molan. While Ukrainians continued to fight the tyranny of Russia, Israel was rocked by the barbarity of Hamas's terrorism. The abhorrent displays of anti-Semitism on our own soil marked a low point in our nation's history. Christmas celebrates a historical fact, the birth of Jesus Christ. But whether we're Christians or not, at Christmas we give thanks for the things that we hold dear in life, our family, our friends, our faith, and our great fortune to be an Australian. And we also say thank you very sincerely to our police officers, our firefighters, our paramedics, our nurses, doctors, emergency service workers and Defence Force personnel who will not be resting over Christmas as they serve our nation and the greater good. 2023 has been tough, but we should never forget that we live in the best country in the world, and that's because of the Australian people. In tough times, let us not lose sight of the optimism, aspiration, the courage, the confidence, the camaraderie, and the sense of duty which makes us tick as individuals and makes our nation truly remarkable. I wish all Australians a happy, relaxing and safe Christmas in the company of family and friends.
All right, so let's go from each part and let's break down what he's spoken about.
Bro, he's so boring.
Well, I think he comes off much more sincere because, again, this is definitely scripted, but I feel like, and I'm just saying from what I can assess from this video, that he can recall these events much more easier
Yeah,
because
no,
they're very top of mind.
100%. But
They seem like they're top of mind for him more than if Albo, because Albo only just addressed the emergency services. He didn't recall any of the events.
no, he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and he's the one that was there for all of them.
But the thing is, do you think this is a real question before we assess this video right now? Do you think, and do you guys think that we're in a time where we need life and character from our leaders? Like, for example, in America, you got Trump. In Brazil, you got Bolsonaro. In other countries, you have all these leaders that have, whether they are polarizing or not. Like Argentina, that guy is extremely polarizing, right? And this is what people seem to be voting for and wanting to hear more of and wanting to hear speeches from. Right then, that guy was dry as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know why he mentioned the Ukraine war and the Israeli war. Like, I understand that they're active key events, but this is a Christmas address.
Yeah.
You're trying to send your best wishes. You're not trying to say, hey, just
the
want to let you
wars.
know that the wars are going on and people are getting killed.
All right, let's assess it, right? Let's see. So, and it's way longer than the address for Albanese's Christmas address. So it's actually
Yeah, so Dutton's one is
minutes.
about 2 minutes and Elbow's one was about a minute.
a minute. All right, let's assess this one more time.
Australians will be looking forward to this Christmas. 2023 has been a year of hardships at home and adversity abroad. Millions of Australians struggle to make ends meet with mounting financial pressures, exacting a toll on people's savings accounts and their spirits as well. But despite the difficulties, Australians pressed on with characteristic resilience. The generosity and the efforts of our wonderful charity workers and volunteers epitomised the very best of our society.
All good so far.
All right, so he's talking about the struggles that Australians are facing.
Yeah, and he's giving thanks to everyone that has been charitable and has been part of. He didn't say any charity specifically. He just said people that are charitable.
Yeah.
So he's thanking them of our society. Completely agree.
We're thinking of those families who lost loved ones in tragedies this year, such as the victims of the Gold Coast helicopter mid-air collision, the Hunter Valley wedding party bus crash,
Wow.
the Dugald River mine accident, the Taipan helicopter disaster,
Hmm.
and the 2 police officers who were killed on duty.
And do you know what I would have loved for him to add it on?
What's that?
And everyone that's been killed or had adverse reactions to the vaccine. That would have been an actual little extra thing that I would have liked.
One, that's never gonna happen. And 2, if that did happen, that would have been clipped everywhere today.
All right. But that's 9 out of 10. Right? What would you rate that?
I don't know. I want to say this though. You look at his eyes because you can tell that he's reading off a teleprompter. So
And-
keep playing it,
Yeah, of
and
course.
you can see that.
But I'm not gonna like criticize him on that. Like maybe he wrote this speech and he doesn't want to get it wrong, and that he uses a teleprompter.
Nah, I think that all these monkeys should just not read off teleprompters.
Did you know Trump used to not, but now he does have a teleprompter? So
Yeah.
when he first started, he would not do it, but now to stay in concise time, because before some of his speeches went for like 3 hours at his events. So to stick to time restrictions, he now has teleprompters that not read the full speech, but gives him bullet points of what to go off. But yeah, so I think that was quite decent. He did mention 2 helicopter crashes.
exacting a toll on people's savings accounts and their spirits as well. But despite the difficulties, Australians pressed on with characteristic resilience. The generosity and the efforts of our wonderful charity workers and volunteers epitomised the very best of our society. We're thinking of those families who lost loved ones in tragedies this year, such as the victims of the Gold Coast helicopter mid-air collision, the Hunter Valley wedding party bus crash, the Dugald River mine accident, the Taipan helicopter disaster, and the 2 police officers who were killed on duty. This year, we farewelled many great Australians. Among them, we will miss the wit of Barry Humphries, the brightness of John Olsen's canvas.
Do you know Barry Humphries?
Yeah.
What happened with him?
I think it just died of old age. I don't think it was anything
Anything specific?
I don't know. There's so many different
Things that happened this
key
year, right?
Aussie icons that had passed away over the last couple of years. I actually can't remember what exactly happened, but I don't think it was anything bad.
Chat, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts so far on the speech? He politicized his Christmas message in the name of little baby Jesus.
Yeah, it was just complications from surgery.
Christ was not about war. Both are part of the problem. This is a stance that you take, right? You believe that both of them are issues.
Yeah, well, I linked you this post that I made maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago about the opposition leader, Peter Dutton, and it actually caused a lot of discussion on this post.
Go on.
And I understand there's a lot of conjecture about the credibility of World Economic Forum profiles and how they relate to their association with the organization. But
because there are some people that believe that, Peter Dutton is a great alternative. But when you bring things up like, not only he's past, but also what he, is involved with, it brings up questions.
I don't know. I just feel like the quality of Australian politicians as a whole over the last 3-4 years that I've got to know them, they all suck. Like Australian politicians, they have no personality. They come off as insincere. They're obviously all there for just to collect the taxpayer funded salary. And I think the worst part is that they have to sit, like the senators, for example, they have to sit there for 12 hours. Yeah. That's got to be bloody draining. But yeah, I don't know. Just the quality of politicians globally is really, really bad. They're all robots. There you go. I think that's exactly right. I feel like what's the old mate from America? I think he's like the Republican
Vivek.
Nah, the other guy. So he's like a Republican head of the Senate or something, and there was a photo of him frozen.
Oh yeah. And he froze, and he's done it 3 times.
Yeah, he like had a seizure or something.
Yeah. Where he couldn't speak anymore.
Yeah, like that's the biggest problem. So Senator McConnell, that's part of the problem that I have with all of these politicians around the world is that they're a dying breed that doesn't really have anything to, they're not living in the world that we're all gonna have to operate in. Fast forward 10 years from now,
he's dead.
They're not going to be here living with the circumstances of their decisions. and we're going to have to live with the circumstances of their decisions.
Yeah. And that's what I don't understand that. I don't understand these people just like completely destroying the world for what?
Like, I remember a couple of weeks ago when what's her name, Katie Gallagher, had made the adamant claim that the digital ID system is not a big government conspiracy, and she wants to table it and pass it and make it into law. My question was, are you going to let your family grow up and let your kids grow up into this world that you're creating for them? Because remember her kids grow up 20, 30 years from now.
We lost loved ones in
Mum, why
tragedies
did
this year,
you
such as the
pass these
victims of the
laws and
Gold
now
Coast
we're all
helicopter
stuck in this
mid-air collision,
information
the Hunter Valley wedding
digital
party bus
prison
crash,
that you've
the
created for
Dugald
us?
River mine accident, the Taipan helicopter
Bad
disaster,
times.
and the two
Yeah,
police
I
officers
really
who were
think,
killed on duty.
I don't think that these
This year, we
politicians,
farewelled many great Australians. Among them, we will miss the wit of Barry
we're all
Humphries,
thinking
the
about
brightness
their own
of John
self,
Olsen's
and
canvases,
unfortunately we're the
and the
ones
mind
that
and the decency of
suffer
soldier
consequences.
and Senator Jim Molan. While Ukrainians continue to fight the tyranny of Russia, Israel was rocked by the barbarity of Hamas's terrorism. The abhorrent displays of anti-Semitism on our own soil marked a low point in our nation's history. Christmas celebrates a historical fact, the birth of Jesus Christ. But whether we're Christians or not, at Christmas we give thanks for the things that we hold dear in life: our family, our friends, our faith, and our great fortune to be an Australian. And we also say thank you very sincerely to our police officers, our firefighters, our paramedics, our nurses, doctors, emergency service workers, and Defence Force personnel who will not be resting over Christmas as they serve our nation and the greater good. 2023 has been tough, but we should never forget that we live in the best country in the world, and that's because of the Australian people. In tough times, let us not lose sight of the optimism, aspiration, the courage, the confidence, the camaraderie, and the sense of duty, which makes us tick as individuals and makes our nation truly remarkable.
He definitely didn't need to bring up the war. That was such an irrelevant topic. You don't bring that up in a Christmas.
Yeah, he was like bringing
address.
up. He was like trying to say, look, he was also trying. He also brought up like there's anti-Semitism growth in our land. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. It's Christmas. Why are you bringing the mood down? Like, you're already a buzzkill of a speaker. Why are you bringing the mood down? You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I don't like the quality of politicians that we've got in Australia, unfortunately, and it's an unfortunate state of affairs when it doesn't look like we don't have any good alternatives for the next 10 years by the looks of it. I think these two are going to play out over the next, 6 years that we've got in this decade.
What about, I reckon Senator
Antic?
I think he's
I don't think they'll ever
the
give
guy.
an anti-establishment minister or member of parliament a chance at the top job. I don't think they would ever be nominated by the union groups, the leaders of that party.
You reckon he doesn't have a chance?
I don't think
at all?
they won't vote him. They won't give him the votes. You know how they have to give him the votes?
Yeah, but he's
The party preference?
Yeah, but he's a liberal party.
Yeah. Nah, they'll give it to someone
Like he's
that's
not like One Nation or UAP or Independent or these parties that have a tough time and are smaller and don't have the same amount of funding. He's part of the Liberal Party. He was voted in with the Liberal Party. So if the Liberal Party actually want a chance of winning, they need to eventually send a Hail Mary because he's not going to win. I can tell you right now, you can love Peter Dutton as much as you want. That guy is not going to be prime minister. I can tell you that right now. That guy is a bore.
But you're completely misreading this whole situation. The Liberal Party doesn't want a chance at running the country. They want to keep the system as uniparty as possible. So it really doesn't matter. Red, blue, as long as the politics and the policies get pushed, doesn't matter who is fronting the camera.
Yeah,
that's the point.
That's black pill.
And I'm telling you, what happened to Senator Rennick, him getting ripped off the ticket for the next election, the same thing will probably happen to all of the anti-establishment ministers. So the guys and girls that voted no against the Digital ID Bill Part 1, the services version, they are all going to get ripped off the ticket eventually. I think the only one that probably won't get ripped off the ticket is Pauline Hanson, because she's got a pretty good tight-knit job up in Queensland.
And do you know who will not get ripped off the ticket at all? And I think everyone should vote for him.
I mean,
The greatest
people are
of them all.
to their sexual proclivities. You know, I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned. You know, but I ain't spending any time on it, because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
I actually didn't know anything about him until
I
last couple
love
of years.
him, bro. He is the best. The best out of
The
all
proceeding will start
politicians
shortly.
in Australia. He is the best. 100%.
The proceeding will start shortly.
What do you guys reckon? So let's get into this. Guys, share out the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the
proceeding
channel.
will start
Welcome back to
shortly.
another episode of End of the World. Like, subscribe, share, and comment
The
down below
proceeding will start
into the
shortly.
chat, into the live chat. We're trying to figure out like an intro. Like, was that all right? Did I do all right then?
Nah, we need to work on that.
The proceeding will
Right, let me
start
try
shortly.
again. Let me try again. All right. All right. Come here, bro. Come here. Sit with us. Bro, you said you were going to be part of the show.
The
And you're
proceeding
sitting
will
all there
start
by yourself.
shortly.
Like, come over and chill with us. You know what I mean? We're going to do an intro now. All right. Good fella.
The
all right.
proceeding will
Have you
start
seen this?
shortly.
So I'll send you this. This is basically a parody video that Juice Media did that
The
illustrates
proceeding will start
Firstly,
shortly.
the problem that we have in the Australian political space right now. Check this out, because I don't know if
The
everyone's seen
proceeding will
this. I
start
saw this
shortly.
maybe a month ago now, basically when they published this, but it's a excellent honest government ad by the Juice Media.
All right.
And I'm from the opposition.
We might not agree on much. Well, apart from tax cuts for the rich.
And blowing billions on nuclear subs.
And outlawing peaceful protests.
And screwing refugees.
And doing whatever Santos tells us to.
And prosecuting whistleblowers.
And giving our mates plum jobs as trade commissioners.
Wait, wasn't that us?
It was both of us, stupid.
Okay, so we agree on most things.
But if there's one thing we really agree on, it's preserving our
two-party system.
Sadly, our cozy duopoly is now under threat. Look, in the 50s, almost all of you voted for one of us.
Good times.
But our primary vote's been falling ever since. And at the last election, barely 2/3 of you did.
It's almost like you've been deserting us for less shit options.
And if that continues, we won't be able to form majority governments ever again and be forced to share power with those guys.
Sure, we could reverse this trend by winning back your votes with less shit policies.
And by having different policies to each other.
But we said,
Yeah,
nah,
nah.
let's just change campaign finance rules to make it impossible for newcomers to get elected.
Introducing our 3-step plan to rat-fuck the Electoral Act
And rig the rules in our favour.
Step 1. Give ourselves a shit ton more of your money. We already get millions in public funding after every election, but we figured, why not more?
Don't all candidates get that funding?
Yep, but if you're a newcomer, you start off with approximately fuck all.
So the only way for newcomers to fund an election campaign is to raise donations.
Yep, which brings us to step 2. Limit how much candidates can raise in donations.
Genius.
We'll tell you we need this to stop this big sack of shit.
And sure, limiting the influence of big money in politics is a good idea.
But we're not worried about the one loser who spent a fortune to win a single seat.
We're worried about all these newcomers who crowdfunded donations from you and won all these seats off us.
And these ones off us.
What's that? Will this also limit the money we can raise? Oh, sweetie, we don't rely on donations from you. Most of our revenue comes from corporate membership fees,
Union fees,
investment portfolios,
MP levy,
10 grand to hang out with this bellend.
all of which we can exempt from being called donations.
And if newcomers still manage to raise enough to compete with us,
that's where step 3 comes in. Limit how much candidates can spend on election campaigns.
will that spending cap include the shit ton our MPs get in taxpayer-funded staff, travel, ads and offices?
Of course not.
We're such
We are
two-party system.
So to sum up, give ourselves more of your money,
Cap the only funding newcomers have to challenge us,
and exempt ourselves from those caps.
thus making it impossible for newcomers to compete with us. We know you'd never stand for this shit fuckery, so we'll call it an integrity reform.
And maybe throw in some good stuff so you'll pat us on the dick for saving democracy.
And if that sounds like an outlandish conspiracy to entrench our two-party duopoly forever, just remember that's exactly what happened in Victoria. Hello, I'm from the Victorian government, where we used to have 3 independents in Parliament. But then we increased public funding for ourselves and capped everyone else's revenue. And not only were no newcomers elected at the last election, we even got rid of the independents we did have. Amazing.
Thanks for showing us the way, Victoria.
We need that shit at the federal level.
And quick, because if we don't rig campaign rules in our favour before the next election, we might never control this joint again.
Participation in our democracy will increase, and we wouldn't be able to keep agreeing on most things,
Like keeping job seeker below poverty levels,
and rorts that prop up the housing bubble,
and defunding the NDIS,
and relying on dodgy carbon credits,
and approving more coal and gas,
and native forest logging,
and habitat destruction,
and betraying renters,
and our Pacific neighbours,
and being totally captured by these fuckbags.
and we wouldn't want that now,
would we?
Two-party system.
Authorised by the department for rigging the rules of the game instead of trying to win it by being less shit.
P.S. We're really hoping you don't get wind of our plan before we try to ram it through Parliament.
So please don't share this video as widely as you can.
Amazing. Amazing. It's so good,
Yeah, I think it really, like, for a layman's terms example of how screwed the two-party system is, it's a great 4-minute trailer for it.
Completely agree. Completely agree. Drizzle, what up? Welcome to the chat, bro. Great to see you in here. We're going to now read some chats and see what you guys been saying. There's quite a lot here. So let's get to it. And we wanted to make this one a quick stream, yeah? I'm glad you guys are here with us. Good to see you guys. Before we read the comments, what we're going to do next stream, we should actually touch on that. So what I found, let's should we add this in? Hold on. You want to let them know just real quick, bro? What
Yeah, I
is-
wanted to just sort of, because it's Christmas and almost New Year's, it's that time of year where you want to reflect.
Yeah.
I just wanted to revisit this old video that you posted, what, 2.5 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah, about the freedom movement as it was formerly known as, and just the characters that were in this scene.
So guys, this is 2 years ago I did this thing which was a tier list of Australian freedom fighters, right? So we had all these freedom fighters that, you know, were in Australia. These were the main people that were speaking out against everything. And this video actually got me a lot of, like, it just rubbed off a lot of feathers, right? It got a lot of people got really hated me for it. Like, we shouldn't be doing a tier list. Like, I love comedy, you know what I mean? Like, I can't sit in a depressed state 24/7 of the world is, you know, collapsing all around us, and I'm just going to sit and cry about it. That's just not in my nature. So
Completely disregard the fact that we've named this show End of the World, by the way.
yeah. But there's comedic aspects to it. So that's what's funny about it. You know what I mean? We're not here. When you come onto the show, don't expect to just be completely down. Like, when you come onto this show, expect information, expect understanding news in Australia, expect news that you don't see on mainstream media, expect things like this, seeing all people that you may not have seen before that were fighting for Australia.
This is one of my favorite quotes: "Tyrants fear mockery," and that's what I love
Yeah.
about the clips that I put out.
Mm.
It's basically mocking the politicians that say these dumb things, and I just illustrate it in a way that's funny, and it makes them look stupid, like even more stupid than they already make themselves out.
And this is why we like, literally, as I'm saying here, I have a MMA dummy wrapping his arm around me, and I'm sitting on a couch. You know what I mean? Like, dude, can get off me, bro. Get off me.
Hopefully we're still connected. But yeah, it's just interesting having a look at these tier lists, because I don't know, from what I can see, probably about half the people are left in the online space, if you want to call it that.
So we did a tier, and it's called, we had golden yoke at the top. So these are GOAT status. So these are the people that are truly putting their best efforts for the freedoms of Australia during lockdown. And then we have the freedom graduate. So these are the people that people hated these terms. They're here to stay. So for example, I guess we're definitely that tier, because we're here still after all these years. But after few of those people have disappeared. And
well, I spoke about this yesterday. You know, it can be mentally draining. Like,
it's
how much
definitely
how much mental and physical bandwidth can you have to deal with this for 4 years, to the point where you start thinking, well, maybe I should just step aside and focus on other things.
It is
pretty draining.
It's very, very draining. So, and then the next tier we had freedom senior, so made an impact, right? So these are the people that, you know, may have come from another industry, come in and said a few things and then fucked off. Right? These are the people that sit in this particular bracket. We then have freedom freshmen. These are the people that new to the game. So these are the people that have just come in, and they were quite silent at the beginning of 2020. So at the beginning, around towards the end of 2020, I'd say, because at the beginning of 2020 in March was when the first announcement of COVID hit, and everyone was sort of like, what's going on? So by August, October, these people had not said shit. But then during lockdowns, they've started seeing everyone say their stuff, and then they were like, all right, I'm going to say something. So these were the freedom freshmen. And then you have your Constable Shields, trust not reached. So these are the people that come out of the woodworks, and what would you say? What would you say this area? They come out of the woodworks, and you can't trust them. They might say some shit to you, and then, you know, they'll go and, you know, report you to the police or something like that.
Yeah, so it's either controlled opposition, which is what pretty much all of us have been called over the last 4 years.
Everyone's been called control opposition.
I love the word shill, because every time I see that word, I just think Shillfest.
Oh, yeah.
Does anyone remember Shillfest?
You mean the Freedom Ball?
The Shillfest.
The Freedom Ball.
That was the best thing of 2021? That was, or 2022. Right. That was the best part of 2022 for me.
We should get the Freedom Ball up as well. We should look at that too. I remember the Freedom Ball.
Yeah, I've actually still got that live video.
You still got that live?
Yeah.
Bro, Freedom Ball. We should look at that. But coming back to this, so this is 2 years ago that I made this.
We need to make a 2024 version of that, and I think that would be a funny activity.
And I think this is what we're going to do on the next video. So we're going to pull up each of these people here. So who do we have? Maybe on this stream we'll go through who do we have, and on the next stream we will redo this tier list. We'll show you right now at the end where we put everyone 2 years ago. And then next stream, we should do a refresh of 2024
Yeah.
because
We'll keep these faces, but then add the new ones, and then it'll be a full collage of everyone that was involved over the last 4 years. So these people, and then the new faces between, say, the last 2 years. But it's going to be hard to remember everybody. So can everyone that knows anyone's name,
yeah.
leave them in the comments, just so you remind us, because I can't even remember everyone. It's been so long, and there's so many people that have come and gone over the last 4 years that, you know, I don't want to miss any of them. I want this to be, you know, a really nice, refined chart.
So we're going to list everyone now. If you remember any names or there's some new names that we should add here, let us know in the chat. All right. And we'll take a look at it. So we'll start off. So these are the people that we had. These are the people that, so give all these people credit, because in some type of way, wherever they landed on this tier list, they did act. So I do appreciate that. And so should you guys. So first of all, we have yourself, just fresh out of jail. And we got your photo here. You were there. We then have Chef
Pete Evans.
Pete Evans. We have Pete Evans there. We have boxer
Mundane.
How could I forget Mundane? Mundane's a legend. That's my brother. We have a Melbourne streamer that I have no clue his name.
Who's that?
Bruh, this is going to be harder than we thought. I can't remember this guy's name either. Maybe I'll have to listen to the video itself and hear
Malcolm Roberts.
who the fuck that is. Then we have Malcolm Roberts. We then have Craig Kelly. We then have the policeman. Remember him?
No.
The officer. He was in Melbourne.
We got everyone's favorite citizen journalist,
We got
Avi Yemeni.
Avi Yemeni. We got another Melbourne guy that I have no clue who it is. We got Primod. We got Dave O'Neegs. We have.
I can't even remember his name. He's from Melbourne.
He's a politician.
Yeah.
He's the one
I
that
remember
got
him
jabbed,
from-
but he was going against the jabs.
Yeah, I remember Limbrick. Yeah, David Limbrick. Yeah.
David Limbrick. We got. Bruh.
What was his nickname? Dom?
some shit. We got Evelyn Ray. Love Evelyn Ray. She's awesome. She used to be a detective, not even a police. Above, she was a detective.
She's contributor to Sky News at the moment. She's been on their After Dark show lately quite a lot.
Because she's in that. She's part of that organization, Quadruple.
Yeah.
Right. We got Thanos. We have. Who's this chat? Who's this? She's the lawyer. She's one of the does like common law.
Jackie Dundee.
Jackie Dundee. You got it, my G. We have who's that? He does a
Didn't he like have a course or something?
Yeah. Barnett.
Yeah, Tom Barnett.
Tom Barnett.
This is an activity in of itself. Just trying to remember everyone's name.
Because a lot of these people, where are you now? Where are you now? We got Mario Malik. We got Monica Smith. We got Maria Z. We have Monica Smith's ex. Morgan
Jonas.
I almost said Freeman. We have Nick
Patterson.
We have
Rukshan.
Ricardo Bosi. We got
she was a crazy lady.
She's nuts.
I can't remember her, but she always got upset because I didn't share her stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like she would abuse me in my messages saying, why aren't you sharing my speeches? I'm like, your speeches come off like manic episodes on camera.
We should actually assess some of the speeches. Once again, everyone, they did amazing work in stepping out against tyranny. But we got to have a laugh.
I've
right?
read a-
Some of the shit that
I've
was
read
tweeted.
a article recently in the news. I can't remember her name, but she got caught up in some trouble with the law again.
Trouble with the law. Who?
The crazy lady
Oh,
from my
really?
DMs. Yeah.
No, she's not the girl that's constantly asking to get funding for law cases that never go anywhere.
Who's that? I'm not sure.
Oh, bro, I swear there's one of those chicks in Melbourne. Melbourne's a lot of that. Melbourne, I would say that Melbourne had the biggest grift of Australia. Like majority of the people that came from Melbourne, like, sure, I appreciate you stepping out to some degree of, expressing yourself against tyranny, but also so many fucking grifters from Melbourne. We got Smoking Joe McHale, my jiu-jitsu brother. Here's how I ended up speaking to a lot of these people. Actually, I had this podcast which was just based on comedy. The 5-8 Take was just a stand-up comedy podcast and MMA/jiu-jitsu podcast. And then I saw Smoking Joe, who did the first Sydney protest in Parramatta against everything that was happening. And I saw Gladys and the mainstream media just go after him and try to destroy him so much.
Remember they put up a photo saying that he was Gladys?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Gladys put that up. And so Channel 9 put up a photo of him, and then Gladys put the photo of him, and she said, "Bad hair day" or something like that. Yeah, so then I was like, all right, well, I know this guy from jiu-jitsu. Let me have him on the podcast. And then that was the first person that I had on a podcast. And then I said to him, who do you know that is doing great work? He said, this guy called Dale, Fight for Your Rights, has this backpack for these suppressed pedophile names. He's been in a city with this sandbag for ages. Interview him. Then I interviewed him. Then I asked him, who do you think I should interview next? And then it came to D, and then she said Yusra, and then Yusra said Millie, Millie said you, and then it just went like that all forward, and that's how I ended up in the space of the freedom movement. This is
Tim Wills.
He has his own show, right?
Wilm's
Front in Melbourne. I think I have gone on that show once. Then we have Yusra Rose. Then we have Zach from Running from Comfort. Then we have Discernible. I've got a podcast with him. Go to the 5-8 Take on Spotify or go diogo.com.au and find that podcast. You can see it. Then we have this guy. Who's this guy?
I forgot his name, but he had that burger shop that we all went to a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he was a G.
I would say have my says.
What area was it in? It was good times.
It's in Sydney. And then we have
Jamie McIntyre.
Right, is he from Melbourne?
I think maybe Queensland. I think it's Queensland.
Queensland?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think recently he may have left the country.
Really?
Yeah. He's very active on Twitter. And I think I may have read something, unless I'm completely mistaken, that he said that he's living overseas now.
Okay. We had this guy from Melbourne. I have no clue his name. Absolutely no clue. Who else do we have? We have Millie Fontaine there. Then we have
John Bernard.
John Bernard there. Absolute legend.
The People's Premier. That's what he called himself in 2021.
We have
It's Onegs. Is it Onegs?
No,
who's that?
Onegs up there. It's Mac from.
Oh yeah, I remember watching his videos on Instagram.
He also came on the podcast. You can find that podcast, the 5-8 Take, on Spotify. Go listen to it. He did the teachers front. He was a teacher and the frontline workers. He put on a lot of the protests with the frontline people, and everyone had to wear white, and it was a big thing around the country.
He's a good communicator. I remember watching his videos. He can articulate his thoughts pretty well.
Yeah. Then we have
Matt Lawson.
Mel.
Mel. Who are these? Oh yeah,
Frankie and Tay.
I had a punch on with not a physical punch on, but like a verbal dispute with Tay's way. I remember that. She hated me.
Yeah, I like Tay and Frankie.
They
and-
hated me. They hated my guts. I remember on Instagram they made videos.
all right, Craig Kelly's definitely new to the game.
Yeah, man, this is bringing back some crazy memories.
And then what else do we have? Who else do we have here? Just quickly, we have the policeman that quit the force and then made big headlines. We have Tricky from Queensland. We have Mel from Melbourne. We have the Aussie Cossack.
Who's still stuck in a Russian embassy.
He's doing well though.
He's doing well, but he's imprisoned himself in a Russian embassy for 12 months now.
He did, and he got Russian citizenships
God
from
damn.
Vladimir Putin. Approved his citizenship.
He's avoided prison by imprisoning himself. And probably for longer than he would have.
It was the old man. It was during a Ukraine and Russian protest where he was standing at the steps and live streaming with his phone, and then some old guy came up and went to grab his arm, and he went like this, like "Get off me!" And then the guy fell down I think 3 steps. And then
But isn't that
police
wild?
were using that as assault and wanted to throw him in jail for that. But moving on, we got the founder and owner of Rashays. Good place. I've eaten there before. We got Raf Fernandez, and then we have myself.
Someone said where's Nick Patterson? So Nick Patterson's actually on this.
Nick Patterson
is in the high vis there.
Nick
in the corner.
Patterson is in the high vis there.
I reckon.
And
I reckon he's a
someone
bit of a
also
shill.
asked, is Alex Antic
reckon
on
he's-
here? Alex Antic isn't on here because
he was after.
he came across on the scene much
Much later.
after. Yeah,
Much later.
he may have actually not even been a senator.
So we will need to refresh. Man, we did some funny.
No, he was a senator. He was a senator in 2019, from 2019.
Do you remember this?
All right. Yoke Media, this is very interesting, guys. Get on it.
And trolled the trans community in.
You guys ride a fucking donkey and fuck you don't have anything to do with it yet.
Exactly.
They're actually a very radicalized minority that don't stand for any kind of freedom. They actually want to stand against vaccination. They want to overwhelm the hospitals. They don't care about other people, and they don't have a sense of collectivity.
Racism, it's denial of equality for minorities, for women, through ethnic minorities, through ethnic groups, racial groups. The denial, this idea that one group is superior to the other, that the elderly should just die.
You know what? I like that, eh? I think that's good. I think we should all take our time with things, with all things, I reckon.
Man, it's just real frustrating to see how united we are over a decision like this. But local government, we can see all this corruption going on, politicians left, right and centre getting jammed in all sorts of messes, man. And we can't even get 10% just to have a vote on at the polls. Like, we're already there. Tick a box. You need more playgrounds? Yeah, we want a couple more playgrounds or whatever.
It's worth noting that the hard right, whether that's inside or outside the Liberal Party, in the form of One Nation, in the form of Craig Kelly, in the form of all their little scummy little followers, are also heavily anti-trans rights, because they recognise rights for minorities, they recognise the right to healthcare, recognise that all of these things are interwoven, and they want to crush them all. So personally, I'm very proudly anti-fascist. May not have organised that rally, but I hope any fascist that exists honestly ceases as soon as possible.
So I hear that you're not a big fan of Craig Kelly.
But do you know what the irony is? That there is a magazine over there for climate change.
Go figure. Like, make it digital, bro. Like, you know, save the trees. What are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing?
Classic. That was some classic times, eh? That was some classic times. So next week, just to cap things off, guys, this was the final result. Let me try and figure this out. So I had put this is the final result in the end at the time 2 years ago. So we will do a 2024 revisit of this. So we'll put Senator Antic in there. He's done a lot of amazing work. And let us know in the chat who else we should put in there, and we will we'll update this for you guys. What do you reckon we went wrong here? Like, just a clear wrong one.
Well, John Bernard's not a shill and not to be trusted. I just think that he sort of
why is he there? Why is he there?
He capitalized on the publicity that he got, and he's parlayed that into like a comedy / touring career now.
Yeah, he's
which is amazing.
He's killing it. I don't know. I put myself there as well, to be modest. Raf put himself here to stay. We've got, I don't even know who this chick is. She's not even around anymore, is she?
Definitely be down the bottom.
I don't know why she's here.
We need to fix up the names of the tiers as well.
Yeah, we got, I don't even know where this guy is anymore. And how did O'Neegs get up here? Here to stay. I guess he is here to stay. He's still around doing stuff. Thanos is up here. Interesting who ended up there. Very interesting tier list, isn't it? Why am I down here? Like, why I'm still here. I'm still doing it. What's going on?
We'll definitely do a 2024.
Sorry, you guys weren't even looking at that. So this is the tier list. This is what we have here. Oh, that's true. Joel Jamal was not in this list, and he was upset with me at the time that he wasn't on this list. That's true. Craig Kelly is there. He is a Freedom Senior. He's made an impact. So he's just right over there next to Mundine. Hey, I appreciate you too. Big love. Big love. Rubes Flyer. Rubes. Who's Rubes?
I'm not sure. If you name anyone,
Justinian,
leave a link to their socials so we can identify them properly. Because there's so many people that even I don't know or remember. Just chuck their socials next to it so that way I can find them.
Salty Cracker. Who the fuck is that guy?
He's a great commentator. He's like a political commentator / troll from America. Yeah, he's got a big channel. He's got like maybe 600,000 subs.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right.
He's good.
Carl Leibold. Do you know that? Voice of Freedom, Carl Leibold.
These are like US people. We're talking about strictly Australian people. So politicians, freedom movement people. None of the people from US or global identities. Don't include those people because we want this to be strictly Australian.
Senator Jared Rennick.
He's definitely up there at the top. He's top tier. He's
definitely
great.
Up there. Thomas Sewell. Thomas Sewell. He's definitely against the government. He didn't. Max Egan. He's he's that old bloke in
it's like Mexico or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he fled. He had a big Odyssey channel. Right? Odyssey.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Massive Odyssey channel. Carl is Aussie apparently. So Carl Leibold. We'll look him up. We'll see who that is. Yeah, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Voice of Freedom is Aussie. Yeah, that's Carl. Max Egan. Yep. We'll put him in there. What we'll do is because there might be a limit to the amount. I'm not too sure. That's why we weren't able to
We'll
add
add
an
more
extra
tiers
person.
though, and then you'll be able to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'll be able to add more people.
All right.
Yeah, cafe lockdown. That's what that person's talking about.
Who the Cafe Lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got into some shit. He like
Yeah, I think they got arrested.
no. Like he
2
was
years ago
accused
now.
of like some fucking shit, like some like touching women inappropriately or something. Babbitt, yep, definitely we should put him in there.
Maria's on there.
Maria Z is on there. Where does she end up?
Third tier on the bottom, near the
Third
right.
tier. Oh, here, yeah. She was a Freedom freshman then. This was when Maria had said that she was gonna do a live with a guy from the hospital, and it was during her Instagram where she did it at her house. Maria's another one that's been on the podcast. So go to the 58 Take on Spotify or the diogo.com.au and find that. She was at the start of everything. But this is even before she joined with Our Voices Matter and did that whole campaign. So Malcolm Roberts is on there. If he hasn't been mentioned, he is. Oh, is Malcolm Roberts
He's there.
not in? Yeah, he's
Second tier on the left.
second tier on the left. There he is, Freedom freshman. So he was also he only spoke out once. Then it was a strong speech in the Senate, and he had just come out the gates. Pauline Hanson isn't in there. Yeah, good point. But she was quite quiet during this period.
But she's definitely lifted up her game, especially with
Yeah.
her animation series. That's the best.
Oh, so good. So good. We should have a movie night where we just watch like
All the episodes.
all the episodes like with you guys. We'll just kick back, big popcorn, and
Watch party.
watch party and watch her entire cartoon series. The Greek guy, who's that? Jackie Lambie. No way. What was it? Jackie Lambie? Was she for freedom or was she against it?
Nah, she was very against it. I've got a clip that I added to one of my compilation videos where she was threatening people to get the vaccine.
Yeah, she's completely not for freedom.
Yeah, Jacinta Price, she definitely had a massive 2023 during the Voice campaign.
Pauline is above any tier list. No one is above this tier list. Shout outs to Jeff Berwick. He's Canadian, though, now residing in Mexico. Shout outs, Jeff. Shout outs to you. The Greek guy. I don't know who the Greek guy is. Mick Gatto. JL Shield. Wood chipper feet first. What's that? I don't know. Feet first 100. I got to look up who that is.
Again, link their socials in the comments after we've published this live, so that way
Yeah.
we can find everyone.
Guys, once we've published this live, right, go in the comment section and please publish their socials or put their names in the comment section, because the one thing that's really annoying about YouTube, or if you're on Rumble, then you can comment and it'll still be in the comments. But what's really annoying about YouTube is that all the live chat doesn't go into the comments. So once we finish up, if you could please type some of these names in the comments, we will then put them into the tier list. And we will update this 2024 where they should be, which you find quite interesting. I think that's it.
That's it. Christmas is almost here. It's 2.5 hours away. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. And just let me try that intro one more time. All right. Let me know if it's good. All right. Welcome back to another
We're gonna script this. I tried to get ChatGPT to help, but it didn't work. And we're gonna run this properly. But the whole goal was to run at least a few successful, consistent episodes, and we've done that. So one box was ticked.
Welcome back to another Welcome back to another episode of End of the World. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in a chat what you guys think. The first topic that we're getting into today will be some shit about Australian politics, Australian news. Keep that international crap out of our show. We are here for our people. Thank you for chilling with us. We love you guys. Peace, love, and unity. Once again, like, subscribe, share. Most importantly, subscribe to the mailing list. Our emails is flashing right there, right now. So there's me. There's us via the agenda. Subscribe to our mailing list. That's the most important thing. Love you guys heaps. And our next episode will be, I guess, in the new year, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to do one. Boxing Day is 26. What's after 26? 27.
If some crazy shit happens in the next 6 days, we might run one. Just
what
for
about
a
a
laugh.
kick back one like this? We're kicking back with the team.
If something
What's
crazy,
the team called? Like at the end of the world. At the end.
Well, look, I'm ending the show. I'm the producer. We'll work on all this over the next couple of weeks.
Bro, he's coming back, lad. He's coming back.
If some crazy stuff happens in the next 6 days, we'll run a new episode. Otherwise, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and that Queensland police officer should have learnt these techniques. Good night. I'm ending it.
Armbar. Switch to armbar. Switch to fucking snap.